All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So this video is going to be comparing two of the guys who I believe have some of the best biceps of all time. The guy on the left is Marko Savolainen, and the guy on the right is Albert Beckles. Now, I made a video on Marko a while ago, and I got a lot of comments saying that people thought that Albert had better biceps, and I have to agree that Albert's peaks were some of the best shaped peaks of all time. But I think that Marko's biceps were some of the biggest and fullest of all time. As you can see in this photo of Albert, his bicep peak, the shape of it was just absolutely incredible. I mean, it was a very original shape. There's not a lot of biceps that were peaked like that. But if you look at the size of Marko's peaks relative to the rest of his arm, I think that makes his biceps overall more impressive. Now, in the last video that I did about Marko, there were a lot of comments suggesting that there might be synthol in his arms. But for this video, we're going to assume there was no synthol. So we're just going to do this video sheerly based on whose bicep looked the most impressive on stage at the time, regardless of whether or not there's synthol in the arm or not. We're just looking at which bicep looked most impressive overall. I got a lot of comments as well from people claiming to personally know Marko, saying that they know for a fact there was no synthol in his arm. So for this video, for the purposes of this video, we're going to assume that there was no synthol, and we're just going to look at the overall size and shape and appeal of the bicep peak itself, regardless of what's in it. So as you can see in this photo, I tried to pick two pictures with similar lighting and similar conditions. So obviously they're both on stage, they're both oiled up and tanned up, and you can clearly see the shape and size of their biceps relative to each other. I think if you look specifically at Marko's biceps, something to note is the size of the actual bicep relative to the size of his tricep. Now, Albert has decent sized bicep peaks, decently shaped bicep peaks, but they don't really overwhelm his triceps that much. They're certainly a prominent feature of his arm, but compared to Marko, Marko's biceps just blatantly overwhelm his triceps, which I think makes them even more impressive looking. The fact that they dwarf his triceps. So that's another factor to consider, is how big do the biceps look relative to the rest of the arm. And I think this photo here is another good example. To be fair, though, Albert is a little bit older in this photo. He's not really in his prime, so his biceps are looking a little bit deflated and flat. But again, look at the size of the bicep relative to the tricep in that front double bicep pose. Albert's are, like I said, they're a nice shape, they're a nice size, but relative to the triceps, they don't really dwarf them. Whereas if you look at Marko, his biceps just destroy his triceps, and they're the most prominent feature on his physique. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think Albert had the better biceps because of the shape of the peak itself and the actual form of the bicep, or do you think that Marko had the better biceps because of the sheer size and mass and overwhelming dominance of the biceps? So let me know in the comment section what you think. Give this video a thumbs up. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.